Hello, welcome to BraveHearts virtual Veterans Day event. I'm Paul Martinez. I retired from the Army after several deployments to Afghanistan, and I'd like to thank you for joining us. Veterans Day is a day reserved as a tribute to all veterans who have served this nation, and we honor those who have served both at war and during peacetime. As we celebrate and remember those who served, I like to think of the words penned by President Dwight Eisenhower in his proclamation to make November 11th Veterans Day and a national holiday. He wrote, "In order to ensure proper and widespread observance of this anniversary, all veterans, veterans organizations, and the entire citizenry will wish to join hands in the common purpose that a grateful nation might pay appropriate homage to the veterans of all its wars who have contributed so much to the preservation of this nation." This virtual Veterans Day event is being brought to you by an organization that is very close to my heart. BraveHearts is a 501c3 nonprofit. It is the largest equine program in the United States that serves veterans. BraveHearts partners horses and veterans to a therapeutic purpose, which is a new way for veterans and horses to work together, but it's not the only way that they ever have. Horses have carried us into battle for a very long time, and as recently as Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Horses have sped couriers between lines to deliver critical messages, and horses were a crucial link in the supply chains that armies have depended upon for centuries. Now they serve veterans in a different way. Horses help to quiet anxiety and they alleviate depression. They can lead people out of isolation, and they can renew a sense of joy and hope and inspire a new sense of purpose. This is why BraveHearts is so important to me. My light bulb moment with horses came after my 5th deployment to Afghanistan. I was grooming a horse for the first time in a stall, all on my own, and I became acutely aware that I was a smallish predator in a confined space with a very large prey animal. And that felt very unnatural and very natural at the same time. I felt like we were making a deal so that we could coexist. My part of the deal was to stop being a predator and start being present in the moment, physically and mentally. For the first time in a long time, I felt the ground underneath my feet and not some faraway sand. I wasn't in my head. I wasn't over there. I was in a stall with a horse at home in the United States. I knew right then and there that this was a way for me to come home, and that if I always had horses in my life, I would be able to stay home. And that's what's so important about this event. And that's what's so important about BraveHearts. For years now, BraveHearts has helped me and many other veterans like me do just that. It has helped them find their way home and stay home.
Hi, I'm Amber, and I am a proud Army wife. I am a blessed mother of 3, and I'm honored to be BraveHearts Veteran Services Director, where I get to welcome veterans from all over the country, like you, to experience equine-assisted services at our farms. Last year, BraveHearts served over 1,000 veterans at our program, and we hope that you might be one of them. If you are interested in learning more about how you can get involved, please reach out to us and contact us. Thank you so much for your service, and I hope to see you around BraveHearts soon.
Circle! Have a trot! Trot on!
Just, I love riding because it just makes me feel connected to another animal and to this wonderful creation here. All the stress and all the anxiety just drops away, and all that you have is, this beautiful creature in front of you,
It's something for a veteran who's been through what he's been through, and the horse, especially these Mustangs coming from the wild, are a mirror to our soul. They feel the anxiety, and it teaches us to calm ourselves and become one with the horse and latch on. These horses save lives. we can't talk to a lot of people when we come back, or we spend, 43 years drinking and abusing drugs and alcohol. And if I wouldn't have come to BraveHearts and gone through this process and been given this opportunity and being set up for success with these horses and the people that are here, the family, and all the veterans that are here, we support each other. And with the horses as the central theme, it's helped. It's saved my life,
I've heard it said so many times around here, hey, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for a horse, or I wouldn't be here if it weren't for a farm. And the first time I heard it, I was kind of taken aback. And now, fast forward 10 years, I can't tell you how many times I've heard it. And it seems like to me that it's something that's happening at our farm, and it's something that warrants attention. And if it can happen at our farm, it can happen for even that many more people. And so I don't even think we've scratched the surface as far as what horses are capable of doing.
Nice, real nice.
When you come to the barn, when you come to see these horses, it's as if every weight comes off your shoulders and they just sync up with you. They, you can feel yourself relaxing, you can feel them relaxing. I've been diagnosed with anxiety, and so having this creature that's living and breathing, that trusts you and you trust it, has just been phenomenal at helping me relax.
What me and this horse do, and the way that we connect, and our spirituality, no one can ever take away. And it brings tears, So, look at this guy, man. 7-year-old Mustang, man, just loving it up.
They're such a metaphor for our life, and you might have a bobble with a horse, you might hit a speed bump, but if you can find your way through it, you'll be a better person in the end, no doubt.
Simple stuff like taking a step back and taking stock of your situation and just being totally aware of what's going on is just a phenomenal thing that horses can do for you.
So Miss Velvet here keeps me honest and helps me through anything I'm going through. If I've just had a bad day, when I come in, it all gets left at the door, and she helps me work through that.
Howdy y'all, my name is Mitchell Reno, and I'm a U.S. Army Infantry veteran of Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. I want to share real quick with you guys a little of my story. I spent well over a decade suffering the effects of war. When I came to BraveHearts, I was an extremely at-risk veteran. I was on 16 scripts. I was a complete alcoholic. I'd lost everything, my wife, my sons, my house, anything that mattered was gone. I was at rock bottom. But as luck would have it, in a matter of minutes, my whole life was about to change. Standing in the round pen at BraveHearts with a wild Mustang named Booyah. He'd spent 20 years of his life in the wilds of Wyoming. The arena was so silent, it was deafening. All that was audible was the air thrusting through his flaring nostrils and the stomping and raking of the sand beneath his feet. His cow kicks cut through the air like a shotgun blast. My heart was racing. Adrenaline bursting through my veins just like in combat. And I love adrenaline. It was like a slingshot into the present, which is where horses live anyways, but I felt alive again. I wasn't dwelling on the past. I wasn't worried about the future. I was just in awe of Booyah. He had scars from head to hoof from fighting to keep his mares, scars from predators, scars from just trying to stay alive. And God, how that hit home. Sheer will and perseverance is how he was in front of me, 1,000 miles away from his home, in captivity, staring me down, asking me, "Who are you, bud? What do you want from me?" I picked up my lead rope and I ran him around the pen, one direction, drew him back for a turn, ran him around the other direction. I began to step forward, putting pressure on, easing it off, moving side to side. Our dance went on like this until finally, first touch, I brushed my hand over his scar-riddled neck. And in that moment of willingness and trust on both our parts, I couldn't keep it in. I began to weep, shedding years of disillusionment and guilt and pride. I walked out of that round pen that day, leaving the weight of the world in the sand. That horse had hooked me, and for the first time in a long time, I looked forward to the next day. I've been sober now 4 years. I'm only on 4 scripts. I have my family, I have my house, I have my kids. With God's grace and mercy and the healing power of the horse, more amazing days have followed at BraveHearts with my brothers and sisters, the horses, and the incredible selfless staff who I'm proud to call my family.
Thank you so much for being here today and for listening to the stories of Paul and Mitchell, 2 very brave veterans who've endured a lot. And for every Paul and Mitchell, there are millions of other veterans who've served this country honorably, and we honor them today. That is why we are here. And it's one thing on one day or 2 days of a year to honor those who've served and made these sacrifices. It's a whole other thing to get involved. And getting involved in organizations like BraveHearts is a great way to show these veterans how much they mean. So on behalf of BraveHearts, we thank every single veteran for their service and their sacrifice. And we thank you for being here.
Post the colors. Order. Huh.